Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out this video. It's your girl LB. Welcome to my channel Watch With Me LB, where I give you fun, fresh, and funny rants, reviews, and recaps on my favorite movies and TV shows. And we are here to talk about Swarm, ladies and gentlemen and folks. Episodes 5, 6, and 7. I have already done my recap and review on episodes 1 through 4. So if you haven't, please go check that out. If you haven't, please subscribe to my channel. I am trying to grow my channel. So if you would share this video, if you are so inclined, I'd appreciate it. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Don't forget to like this video because that's the right thing to do. And I appreciate you. So let's get into this last part of the show. Episode 5. We are back in Houston, Texas. Okay, now Marissa's phone has been broken. Okay, all of the shenanigans that Dre has been through. She has lived 7 lives in these 4-5 episodes that we have seen her in, and she is now back where it all started, back in the age 10. Okay, and forgive me for doing that. Okay, I don't have no right. All right, but just, you know, it just came out. It's just organic. You know what I'm saying? I'm off the dome with it. She's at like the AT&T store trying to get the phone fixed. My boy Ricky Thompson is in this episode, and he is the wonderful and very helpful cell phone store agent representative. And he's very willing to help her, except for the simple fact that the phone is in Marissa's daddy's name. So he can't do nothing about it. He can't fix it. He can't turn it on, turn it off. And the phone, as a matter of fact, the number is getting ready to be disconnected in 10 days at the request of the father. So now I'm confusion, because is the father of Marissa not the father of Dre? Because they sisters. So what's up with the family tree? So she's not successful in trying to get the phone turned back on, and she's walking around the mall and she sees a poster for Naja's tour. And Erica, the manager that Marissa worked for in the Sharpstown Mall earlier in the episode, the one that, you know, them little hooligans broke and took all the merchandise and stuff. She is working in this new mall that Dre is going to. So they, you know, sitting down and they shooting the shit, and they, you know, talking about everything that's happened since, you know, they last saw each other. And Dre goes on to tell Erica this wild ass story about how she's a makeup artist to the stars, using the techniques that her sister had taught her, and that she is the makeup artist for Nija's mom, and that she met Nija and they really great friends. And the way she told the story, you could tell that at first Erica was like, girl, I can't believe. And then at the end of the story, it was so damn wild and far-fetched that Erica was like, oh yeah, I forgot you a little, you know what I mean? You a little different. Okay, I know you lying. I'm gonna just ride with it. The look on Erica's face was kind of one of like pity, because not only was Dre overdoing the story, she was crying while she was telling the story. Like, she came completely unglued. And Erica was like, it's not normal, so I'm gonna just let you have it. That was a great scene, because Dominique Fishback, the way that she acted that specific part was so cool to me, because her face was displaying like complete and total joy, like in elation, but she was crying, and her eyes were sad and her mannerisms were sad. 2 emotions happening at the same time. It was a great scene, and I really, you know, her chops, baby. Give baby sis her flowers. You know what I mean? It just, you laughing and crying at the same time. You sad and you happy at the same time. What part of your mind palace do you go to in order to pull that off? You know what I mean? And she did that. I'm sure it was several takes that she had to do that. So she did it over and over and over again. Call me, Dom. Girl, listen, congratulations. You did your thing, sis. She leaves the mall, and of course she's at another house, right? And this house seems to be like in a traditional like neighborhood, like a upper middle class neighborhood. Seems to be pretty familiar with the grounds of the house. So she's looking for a way to get in the house, like lifting up the mat, trying to find the extra key. She is looking, you know, in the bed of the boat that they have in the yard, and, you know, she knows how to get into the garage, to get a ladder, to go upstairs to a window that she knows is open. And she gets in the house and nobody's home, and we walk around and we starting to see pictures of baby Marissa and pictures of, you know, their family, right? Marissa and her mom and her dad. And we also see a picture of their family that is folded over to cover Dre, right? So Dre was in the picture, but they folded her out of the picture and just kept Marissa, the mama, and the daddy. And I'm like, cold-blooded. So Dre is rumbling around the house and going through all the things. She finds a gun, she finds some porn, she finds, you know, she washing her clothes, she take a shower, like she doing all kind of stuff. She falls asleep on the bed. Then the mama and the daddy come home. Mom comes downstairs in her little robe and she got a little beverage, sitting down watching TV. Dre walks up pointing a gun at the mama. And the mama, when I tell you, baby, unfazed. You hear me? Looking just like I'm looking at you. That's how the mama was looking at Dre. Like, girl, I was wondering when you was gonna come over here. Like, she wasn't scared or like, what the hell you doing here? Or, I missed you. Or like, it wasn't anything. It was like not surprised at all. It was like, damn, I would have thought you would have been here earlier, girl. I knew you was coming. And I was like, what the hell happened between these two? So where she's not concerned at all that this girl is pointing a gun at her. And why wasn't she concerned about where this person was? Like, isn't this her daughter? Like, I don't understand what's going on. Then here come Cowboy Leon. Okay, Leon come downstairs with a double barrel shotgun, baby, with a strap on it, in his robe and his drawers. And like, you better quit playing in my face. I will blow your head off. Okay, and I was like, that's Texas for you, baby. Everybody in Texas got at least one something on their hip at all times. I feel like they give you one when you graduate from middle school. Marissa's mother and father had a child, like a son, that died at 6 days old. And when that happened, they kind of fell apart. The daddy did. And so his business kind of fell apart, and I guess they needed money. So they adopted, like they had a foster child and they got money to foster the child, which was Drake. And that's how they are sisters. It didn't seem like he wanted her. It was like a financial decision. So I'm not sure how they treated her. She ran away and he definitely was trying to blow one in her head for sure. And she ended up getting away and leaving the house. And that's where the episode ended. But obviously there is some bad blood between Marissa's biological parents and Dre. That was interesting. Okay. Now we get to episode 6. Now this episode, I was eating this up because I love me some ID channel. I love me some true crime. People Magazine investigates 2020 on ID. I love me some 48 Hours. I love me an investigative report. I love some sleuthing. This was very much a play on that. So we meet Loretta Green, who is a detective in Memphis PD, and she is working these murders, right? And she starts to kind of piece together that there is some connection between the murders in Memphis and a murder in Seattle and a murder here, a murder there, a murder everywhere as it relates to Nyjah. Because, you know, a black woman, don't let her get paid for putting some shit together. Don't let her get paid for making the math now. Because she gonna math the hell out that math, okay? And that's just what Loretta Green did. And it was like a play on the true crime that we see all the time, solving these, you know, these murders in this fictional situation. Baby, Detective Green tracked down the caseworker for Dre for when she was little. And it kind of goes back to, you know, maybe thinking about the fact that there could be some trauma with Dre and her story before she was adopted by Marissa's family. Also thinking about the conversation, it wasn't even a conversation, child, the hypnotization that occurred between Ava, Billie Eilish's character, and Dre, where she talks about the red milk being spilled on the floor. And so I'm thinking, well, based upon what the caseworker was saying, that, you know, her mother was murdered, that she comes from trauma, and she might have done something to her grandmother prior to her getting placed with the Jacksons. And based upon, you know, the conversation about, or the interview, I guess, with the girl who was friends with Marissa, who was stabbed at the sleepover, you know, this kind of behavior from Dre started very early on. And it helps Detective Green to kind of piece things together even more. And so she is putting the pieces together. She does make the connection between Nyjah, you know, the junk food, stolen cars, the murders, all of these things are kind of coming together for her. You know, we hear about a man that runs on stage at Nyjah's concert in Atlanta, and she is able to connect the dots and have the person held in jail in Atlanta. And so we're kind of, you know, wrapping up the show at this point. And, you know, I think at this point we see Dre has now become Tony. And Tony is in Atlanta, and they are outside of a club, and they meet Marissa. Not Marissa. Lord, what's that girl name? Rashida, outside of a club. And, you know, one thing leads to another, and they are in a relationship. And it appears that Tony, also known as Dre, really is like in love with Rashida, right? Rashida takes Tony to meet her parents, and her mama is played by Cree Summer. I love Cree Summer. And not to mention the fact that on the very first time that they were kicking it, Rashida was like, I can't stand Nyjah. And I was like, oh, sayonara, my girl. But nothing happened. Tony is trying to turn over a new leaf, baby. They say, I'm not going to kill you. You kind of fine, Rashida. I'm going to just go ahead and stick with you. Tony seems to really start to feel the pressure, like, you know, seeing the police kind of looking at the cars that they are driving. And Rashida don't pick up on none of the red flags, baby. You was driving the Cutlass on Monday, and now you driving a Volvo on Wednesday. Like, where are you getting... where are the cars coming from? Rashida and Tony get into a fight because Tony has purchased $4,000 tickets to go see Nyjah and gives them to Rashida as an anniversary present. But Rashida was like, I don't fuck with Nyjah like that. I don't want that. You spent 4 bands. What did you, that's not for me, that's for you. Like, they get into a fight. Sayonara for real. Very, very sad. R.I.P. to her, because I know that was very sad. It was, and I just really feel like it's just different people, because the way that Tony looked prior to murdering Rashida is not the same person. I don't know how to describe it, but if you saw what I'm talking about, comment down below. Nyjah is having a concert in Atlanta. Tony gotta go. It's mandatory. What else they gonna do? They got to go. So in order to get rid of Rashida's body, Tony burns it. Then they realize that the tickets to go see Nyjah are in the pocket of the coat that Rashida had on, and the tickets is up and smoking. Okay, and I don't mean Cheech and Chong, and I damn sure don't mean the concert. Now Tony is trying to figure out what the hell they gonna do, because they literally don't have no way to see Nyjah now. Tony goes to the concert and is trying to figure out a way to get on in there. They find a ticket scalper. They gotta gets on into the concert by the grace, okay? Not by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying? They get on in there. They managed to get to the front row of the concert. Tony is almost up on the stage, and security grabs Tony and stops Tony from coming up on the stage. And Nyjah says, hey, don't manhandle my fans like that. Let them on stage. Let them up here with me. And Tony is completely and totally flabbergasted. Just cannot speak, not blinking, eyeballs dry, okay? We don't see Nyjah at this point, and when we finally do see Nyjah is not the Nyjah that we saw on the posters and on the billboards. That's not Nyjah, baby. When we actually see Nyjah at the concert, Nyjah is Marissa. It's Chloe Bailey face. And I thought that was so ironic, because, you know, they're making Chloe Bailey be like a baby Beyonce. You know what I mean? Like a little Beyonce junior, like a junior bride. And to have Chloe Bailey actually performing and looking like, dressing like, sounding like Beyonce or Nyjah, I thought was very ironic. Which I'm sure is probably why, a big reason why she was cast in this part. But I really do think Chloe Bailey has acting chops. I would really love to see her as an actress. I would love to see her go the, you know, Cynthia Erivo route. Like, give us some music, but give us the films. You know what I'm saying? Give us the flicks. Do Mandy Moore. Give us the shows, and give us the songs, you know what I'm saying, as well. Do the double tap. I was like, what the hell is going on? It kind of freaked me out, because I'm like, that's not... Once again, I was confusion. Once again, also, it's Donald Glover, baby. You never know what the hell is going on. I don't trust that guy. I appreciate him, but I don't trust him. You know, the concert is over, and, you know, Nyjah and Dre are in the limo together, and like Nas just like cradling her, and it's all, excuse me, them. Nah, that's not what happened. Get up out of Dre's mind for a second, because it's a wild ass place. And that what actually happened, Tony ran up on stage. They promptly arrested her. Because baby, if you know one thing, if you don't know nothing else, Julius don't play behind Beyonce. Baby, Julius will throw you off of the tallest building in the world if you even blink too fast in Beyonce direction. Don't play with the security around Beyonce. So in reality, Tony tried to get up on stage and was politely arrested. And they held Tony in jail under suspicion for all of these murders, 8 in total. And because, you know, these murders had happened in all of these different cities and they had no suspects, no real evidence, the police in these, you know, respective cities had closed the cases, right? But because Detective Green had put it all together and kind of gave other police departments the same kind of information that she had worked up for the case in Atlanta, they opened the cases, and Dre is the prime suspect in all of those murders, and it is suspected that they just in jail, that they did not actually get away with it. You know, they made it seem as though, again, it's like a true crime investigative story. You know, they gave the pictures at the end, and they gave the little wrap up, you know, text or whatever, and it made it look like it was a real case, like it actually happened. I know somebody in the world was out here Googling, is Andrea Green a real person? They not. But it was very much like the episode of Atlanta with the goof who sat by the door, with the episode with the guy who was the black CEO of Disney and who made the Goofy movie. It was like that, because I know for damn sure I was Googling that, like, what's the CEO? The way that the show ended, you're left to kind of glean and make your own decision as it relates to how you feel the story actually wrapped up. Like, what do you think? You really don't know. You gotta figure it out. I personally feel as though Dre is a multiple personality, that Tony is a personality that lives within Dre, and Dre is I forgot the word for it, the main person. And that there was a person that was, you know, like a little sexy person, there was the murderous person, there was Tony, and all of them had the ability to be murderous people, but they weren't the same person. So I thought the show was so well done. The performances, baby, phenomenal performances. Dominique Fishback needs her flowers, though. Chloe Bailey did her thing. Damson Idris, I'm a creep. I am. He died a horrible, gruesome death, but damn it, did he put in work before he went on home, huh? Okay. Anyway, you know, this show was very much Afro surrealism. It left you questioning and really trying to understand what you were watching, what you saw, what was real, what was fake, what was made up, what actually happened. And I love that, right? It's not necessarily a straightforward answer. You don't really know what's going on, because obviously you know that Dre is not rap tight. She has done some terrible things, but how far did she actually go? Why would these random white women pick her up in the middle of the woods and just be like, hey, black lady, come live with us? Like, is that the demographic that they were looking for? Because why was she there? Like, did that actually happen? Who knows, right? I personally think it did not. Comment down below and let me know what you thought of Swarm, and let me know if you think that Dre is a multiple personality. And I was right about you. I was right about Joe in season 4. My be tingling, you know what I mean? All right, y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Bye.